My goodness. How y'all doing? What's going on, y'all? Did y'all hear what Natasha said? Natasha came out here swinging today, baby. She said this, Natasha, and this was 2 hours ago. This is new, y'all. This is fresh off the cuff. Hashtag new. New tea. Yes, new tea, honey. That's all I do. It's new tea. And Natasha said that a medical examiner reported multiple blunt force trauma to the head, to the back of the head. Remember, she told we saw it was just one. She did boom, 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 boom. Now I don't know who did it. I don't know how that happened, but I know he ain't just far from a bump in the head. Woo, so I'm here to talk about it. I do have the link here if you guys want to come up. Now, I tell you one thing. Don't you wait until I get hot and ready and we in the mid and you want to come up and talk. You know you want to come up and talk. You know you have ideas already, so you better hurry up, okay? I'm not going to play with y'all tonight, all right? Yeah, I have to turn the lights off. They still coming for me. I don't know what's going on. Let's get the likes up, y'all. Come on. We can do better. Let's get the likes up. Let's do the likes up. What did she say? I have the receipts right here. Look, you don't see what she said? Press 7 if you see what Natasha said right here. The medical examiner reported multiple blunt force trauma to the back of the head. Okay? Y'all can't see. It came from Natasha. All right? Do y'all see that? Press 7 if you guys see it, okay? Because clearly some of you guys have a problem with seeing it. All right, so comment, press 1 if you believe this. Press 2 if you do not believe this. You know, people are saying that Natasha, she's always lying and they don't believe this one. So I do have a video of the lady, Miss Jackson. She's an activist on the Tyrone case. She's speaking with the cousin Natalie. So I would love to watch it and react to it and want to know your thoughts about everything. All right, so I'm looking here. Shout out to Jug. Jug, let me make you a moderator, boo. Because you always showing me so much love. Jug always support me. No matter the topic, Jug is always there. And I appreciate that. For y'all that always support me, my real supporters, no matter what I do, what channel, what face I got, y'all always support me. I appreciate that. All right. So Tasha just wants some more drama going on. Do you think she saw the live with Polo and how Polo really talked about the smashing between the back to the front, that was a lie, and she probably felt some type of way and just put this out here? I don't know, honey. She said it came from the medical and examiner. So people are saying, well, we need you to put that thing up. We need to see that medical and examiner, okay? That's what a lot of y'all are saying. What else are y'all saying up here? Yes, more likes, more likes. We only got 46 likes. Y'all must want me to go. Do y'all want me to go? Do y'all want me to talk about something else? Okay, because the likes, y'all got to do better with the likes, honestly. All right? I've been working up here all day. I'm tired. I'm hungry. I want a chili cheese dog with some chili cheese fries. All right? So come on, get these likes up. We can do better. All right. Always Mary Alice. Do y'all know the difference between Mary Alice's face and Gigi face? Press 1 if you know the difference between Mary Alice and Gigi. Press 10 if you don't know the difference in their faces. All right. This is a Gigi face. This not Mary. I would think y'all, we all sound the same, but I would think y'all know the difference in the faces. Jesus. All right. Thank you, PLC. I appreciate it. Better do better with the likes. I know that's right. Let me like. Yeah, let you like. Please like. So I'm looking here. You guys say I don't look in the comments. I'm looking. I'm looking. All right. Oh, yes. Uh-huh. Yeah, let's get these likes up. Yeah. Do y'all like it dark like this or y'all want me to put the light up? Okay. All right, everybody know the difference. Let me turn this light on. I'll turn the light on for y'all because I don't want y'all to fall asleep on me. Hold on. Give me 1 second. Can y'all still hear me? Y'all can still hear me. Okay. Oh, blunt force drama, baby. Blunt force force drama to the head, to the back of his head. Now, how did he get that? How did he get that right there? Who did that? Who did that? Huh? Who did it? Blunt, is this better? Do y'all like it with the light? All right. Come on now. Blunt force drama to the back of the head. All right. And if you're in the bushes, can you please tap that screen? Thank you, honey. Thank you, honey. That's what I'm talking about. All right. So let's play this audio. Let's go to the girls. Let's see what they're saying.
We'll get started. For everyone that is joining us while we're taking a second, we are back to do an update for George. Please put him in this walker. I am babysitting, and it seems that now since we've started to have live, he's been playing by himself just fine. Now he is wreaking havoc.
They always want your attention when you're doing something else.
I got a flower vase. He just put a whole vase down with the flowers in the water.
Listen, they made me say, "What are you doing?"
It won't be. He said, "You won't be doing a video in this moment."
I'm gonna fast forward it because I really didn't want to hear that part.
For a confidential meeting that was about 3.5 hours long. I was very, very impressed with what actually came out of that particular meeting. And what they actually did is went piece by piece with the evidence that already is currently available. We navigated other evidence or other things that we actually will be requesting in order to fill in some of the actual gaps. They normally do things in 10 phases. We're in phase, depending on how you look at it, 6 or 7. And they've actually do have a working theory. And so it's exciting to kind of go through that. So I did want to open it up for Natalie if she wanted to jump in and say anything. And then what we'll do next is actually talk about the expertise of each person that's actually on the research teams, each person that's on that roster, so people can understand the people who actually did this particular work, what their expertise is, what their education is in, how many years of experience that they actually have. We're super excited, even with them, and the things that they're derived are from facts. They actually not only were able to derive certain conclusions from the facts, but they were able to dispel some of the rumors and things like that were out there to get rid of those like rumor mills and really wade through a lot of the stuff that is actually chaos to really get us steps closer to really finding out and understanding what's happening. And definitely want to share those things with you all. And so now
let's just get to it. Okay, I can't take it. Let's get to it. Damn. You know, I have a short attention span.
we go to the next thing.
Yes, I would just like to say one thing that my family has made it our business to do throughout this process is to understand that there are different individuals that play different roles that are beneficial for different reasons. And we thank everyone who is standing in support of this movement, finding these answers for Tyrone. And then we also thank everyone for the individual roles that they play, because the one thing that we as a family recognize, and then also me and Tyrone actually used to discuss quite often, is that a jack of all trades is usually a master of none. So it's important for everyone to understand what their role is and to make sure that they're reaching that role to the fullest of their potential and maximizing their knowledge in their specific field. So I think it's very beneficial for us to now not just have one person or two people that's helping us, but to have a team of individuals who all have specialties in different areas, who are willing to come together.
So that will actually tell a lot about what happened from Papa John's.
Thank y'all. They said fast forward because at 30 minutes they ain't talking about nothing, just yipping and yapping. Thank y'all. Whew.
So where Tyrone was actually found. But it says Tyrone was last seen on surveillance video inside Papa John's only minutes before he was later discovered lying in the roadway. After leaving the restaurant, Tyrone returned to the vehicle with the girlfriend. It is believed that an argument either continued from earlier or began shortly after he got back into the car. And as we know with previous evidence, that witnesses in Gilchrist County stated they had already been arguing for 2.5 hours. And then we know that once they got here, that it seems like that, and actually by her statement that
Whoa! Arguing for 2.5 hours? I ain't never known nobody to argue for 2.5 hours. Is that for real or she over exaggerating? Press one if you ever argue for 2.5 hours. Press nine if you ain't never argued for 2.5 hours. That's a lot of arguing for 2.5 hours. That's a lot. That's a lot.
argument continued on, and they stated that there were communications when she went to either AT&T or T-Mobile, because there's a conflicting statement there, that this argument continued on. So it says, after leaving Papa John's, the vehicle traveled to the intersection of Southwest 34th Boulevard and Archer Road, where the girlfriend made a U-turn. The vehicle then continued traveling toward the I-75 on ramp. During this route, the driver passed the left turn at Southwest 37th Boulevard, which would have taken them back towards their hotel. The vehicle ultimately reached the area near I-75 on ramp and Archer Road, where another U-turn occurred. At or near this location, it is believed Tyrone requested to be let out of the vehicle. While Tyrone was still inside the car, and likely as he was turning to exit, he may have been grabbed by the left shoulder, because scratches are later observed on Tyrone's left shoulder are consistent with this type of contact.
Whoa! Did y'all hear that? Scratches on his shoulder. See, we was told he didn't have no scratches. It was just the head. So now we are learning that it's scratches on the shoulders. What do you guys make of this? Comment, let us know. What do you guys make of this?
At the moment, Tyrone appears to have been struck in the back of the head with a hard object, possibly a firearm or a similar blunt instrument. And so, with the actual evidence, so now also waiting not just.
Oh, did you hear that? She said that Tyrone was struck in the back of the head. So that means somebody struck him. If it was struck, somebody struck Tyrone in the back of the head. Do you guys believe that somebody struck Tyrone in the back of the head? And I'm assuming they're talking about Lulu. Press 1 if you feel like Lulu struck him in the back of the head. Press 2 if you don't feel like Lulu struck him in the back of the head. Press 3 if you feel like somebody else struck him in the back of the head. Press 4 if you don't feel like nobody struck him in the back of the head. All right, so what is really going on here? So much. But like I said, I have the link, so come on up if you guys want to talk.
From the medical records coming from GPD, but now the family is requesting the medical records specifically from the hospital, because scratches from a roadway and scratches from being scratched by being grabbed are totally different actual scratches, and the fact of where they are, that they believe they're scratches from an altercation. There was this blow also, as they stated as we were talking, when you think about multiple blunt force trauma to the head and then being hit in the back of the head. The next statement is my inference. I was very confused when the family has stated multiple times that Tyrone has two guns and the guns never popped up. I was confused because I stated that if he was not shot, why is it that no one would turn the guns over? Well, if he was hit in the back of the head with the guns and you're able to get them, then you would be able to actually match the barrel or whatever part of the gun with the injuries in the back of the head. So that's my inference. That's not anything that has been proven, but that is something that would add up and make sense.
And just to put the part that Shanae has already read into layman's terms, what the team was able to explain and then also visibly show is that in order to end up where he was found, they would have passed multiple locations where they could have turned to get to their hotel, or even made a U-turn if they missed their original point to get to their hotel. There was plazas that they could have turned in to turn around to get them back to that hotel. However, they were 3 intersections away from their hotel at the time the vehicle made the U-turn, where he was later found at his demise. So if you were leaving from getting pizza to go to your hotel, how do you end up 3 intersections past the hotel? So just layman's term explanation of what the experts, because these are subject matter experts, this is what they were able to find during their research and their investigation.
Yes. And throughout the entire presentation, they wanted to make sure for them, they don't have a stake in this at all. It's
Right.
only about the facts and what is factual and what is plausible and what adds up and what does not. And so they wanted to make sure that we were very clear. They don't have a stake either way. It's about what the evidence actually shows. And so for them, whatever the evidence leads to is where we will land at. And so that's also when I stated about the barrel, I made sure it was an inference that I made because for them, there is no inference either way. It is they want to ensure that it is very unbiased and just facts based on facts, and that's it.
Yes.
So then they go into the primary skull injury. They said this blow caused high energy, blunt force trauma to the base of Tyrone's skull. The force of the impact was severe enough to produce comminuted fractures, meaning the bone was shattered into multiple pieces, with fragments displaced toward the front of the skull. This type of injury is known to initiate rapid internal bleeding inside the skull and places the individual at immediate risk of catastrophic brain injury. And so, what they were stating is by the medical aspects and evidence of this, that was the reason they were able to rule out that this happened at the hotel in Gilchrist County and that it had to happen after leaving Papa John's, is because the nature of the injuries, what came after would have happened very rapidly.
She said
Um,
almost instantaneously. He said he would not have survived long enough to have left Gilchrist County and make it into Gainesville. With that type of injury, his the impact and the outcome of those injuries would have happened within moments. Hence why at the scene he was unresponsive, unalert, and then en route to the hospital coded. It was because the way the injury was inflicted, it was not, he did not have the time to do like things from a, it wasn't a slow injury, it wasn't something that would have happened over a period of hours. It would have been an instantaneous, within moments, reaction to those injuries.
Absolutely. And I'm going to read further also too, and we'll give some additional insight. So, despite the severity of this injury, Tyrone may have experienced what is known medically as lucid interval. During this brief period following certain traumatic brain injuries, a person may still appear conscious and capable of performing purposeful actions, even though internal bleeding and swelling within the brain are rapidly worsening. During this period, Tyrone likely requested to exit the vehicle, opened the car door, stepped out of the vehicle, and closed the door behind him. To the girlfriend, Tyrone may have appeared alert or functional at that moment. However, internally, pressure inside Tyrone's skull would have been rapidly increasing due to bleeding and swelling. So then it goes into a witness account in the actual collapse. It says the girlfriend later stated that after Tyrone exited the vehicle and closed the door, she looked in the rearview mirror and saw him walk away from the car and then kneel. This account is consistent with the witness statement describing Tyrone collapsing shortly afterward. As Tyrone attempted to walk away from the vehicle, the lucid interval likely ended as bleeding and swelling increased inside the skull. Tyrone would have rapidly begun losing balance, coordination, and consciousness. I do want to state at this part, as they got further in the discussion related to the statement by the girlfriend, when they listened to the actual 911 call and then listened to the communications after, when they were actually already in the ambulance, two things that they stated that came up between all of those communications. One was that the statement that the girlfriend stated that he exited the vehicle and that she closed the door behind him and she looked back. And then in the same communications, in the same recording they were listening to, but the girlfriend stated, oh no, she was going 25, 30 miles per hour and she was not looking back. And so just highlighting that there was a conflicting statement. So when law enforcement stated that the statements were consistent, the research team was able to show us last night that even before leaving the scene, the statements were inconsistent. And so even for us, it's not that we're stating that you did anything malicious. It's just the fact is that per the people communicating via their radio and walkie-talkies that can be heard, the statements were not consistent. So then they say secondary impact. Witness observations and statements suggest that Tyrone either knelt or dropped to his knees. From this kneeling position, Tyrone then collapsed heavily toward his left side. During this collapse, the left
Oh,
side of Tyrone's head struck the pavement, producing
oh,
a secondary blunt force trauma to the left temple. At the same time, Tyrone's left elbow struck the ground, producing the abrasion observed at the scene. Additional scratches may have occurred as Tyrone's body shifted or rotated while neurological deterioration progressed. When a witness arrived at the scene, Tyrone was reportedly lying on his back and was observed writhing and groaning. These movements are consistent with what neurologists sometimes describe as a neurological storm, a condition in which the brain, after sustaining severe injury, produces involuntary movements and sounds that are not purposeful.
oh. I need y'all to get these likes up right now. Get these likes up, and I want y'all to hit the link. What do y'all think about this? We got so much to play, but isn't this some good tea? Press 9 if this is some good tea. This is some good juicy updates. Everybody need to hear about this. Miss Jackson, they did a good job of reporting this one, honey. Okay. This is good. This is good. Get the likes up, y'all. Get the likes up and hit that link if y'all got something to say, okay? Now you know with me, I don't care what side you on. It don't matter as long as you respectful, honey. I allow people to have an opinion. It don't matter. I got a degree with nobody. Come on now, let's go.
Or conscious. At this stage, Tyrone had likely lost autonomic control of bodily functions. This loss of neurological control explains the involuntary urination visible in photographs at the scene. So before I go further, in layman's terms, one of the things that was pointed out that I actually missed is the two spots that were on the road. I assumed that both was from him bleeding. One was not. One was the injury to the head, and the other one is that he actually lost control of his bodily functions. Also, what was the researchers were very, very adamant about, and what was very upsetting to them, is that the first responders on the scene should have automatically been keyed into what was happening because of the writhing and the groaning that was actually taking place. And then even as they were somewhere stating that his pupils were not dilated, she stated that was virtually impossible. They talked at a great extent about how upset they were at the videos at first responders having the nurse, who happened to be a witness, still in the midst of everything and not having her allowed to step out. Also, there was a responsibility for law enforcement once they got there to be the ones to actually administer aid. They were honest that no, it may not have made an actual difference, but the fact that they did not do their due diligence was extremely concerning from what they stated. And this is from them and their actual expert opinions and expertise about how things actually should go at particular scenes. Other things that were very concerning to them is how these people were walking through Tyrone's blood and his urination through his bodily functions in a very, very nonchalant manner.
Hold on. Did she say the nigga peed? Press 1 if they said his urination meant he peed on himself. What a crazy way to go. He peed on himself. Why would he pee on himself? I guess all the functions just shut down. I don't know, honey.
As he was in such a serious condition. And then she also stated that in the call, they knew it was much more serious at first, but they had called it wasn't that serious because in the call you can hear it as they're in the ambulance headed to Shands. They changed it to trauma. And they had to do CPR and resuscitate him in an attempt to do so on the way to the hospital. So they knew that he was in rapid decline prior to him ever getting to the hospital. And see, these are things that with the researchers, because they've gone so much further with the information that has been collected, that has been hugely helpful. And then it goes into the final medical stage. Shortly afterward, Tyrone's body reportedly became quiet and motionless, which is also visible in crime scene photos. This stage is consistent with decelerate posturing, which is a neurological condition in which the arms and legs extend rigidly due to severe damage to the brainstem. The brainstem controls critical life functions such as breathing, heart rate, and consciousness. When the brainstem becomes compressed by swelling or bleeding within the skull, the body may rapidly transition into a deep terminal coma. From a medical standpoint, this sequence of events is consistent with the progression of a catastrophic traumatic brain injury. And then it just states that it's prepared by this independent research team. And it's for information and investigative review purposes. So we wanted to make it a point to come and read directly from what experts actually came up with, to be very clear what it is that they laid out. I'm going to turn it over to Natalie to be able to give some additional context from the actual conversation. And then I'm going to give some additional context from the notes that I actually took from the meeting that we actually had last night.
So, as you all heard, we got a lot of information last night. We heard a lot of things. We reviewed a lot with photos, with actual.
Let me tell y'all something. Can y'all please stop asking about people? This my shit, okay? I have guests, sure. And I guess I spoiled y'all with some people. Now, every time, with this, with that, with that. Don't you do that shit. I'm telling y'all right now. I might be sleepy right now. But stop fucking with me, okay? Stop fucking with me. I don't want to have, I don't even look in the chat, but I don't want to have to look in the chat. Where's such and such? Look, go find the motherfuckers. Don't say that shit on my shit. Hell. I don't like that. I gotta keep it motherfucking P with you motherfuckers, alright? I don't know what the fuck. And I'm trying to be nice. I said if you got a motherfucking opinion, hit that damn link. Okay? You want another representative. Fuck Gigi, get somebody else. Well, you go on their motherfucking platform, but don't disrespect my shit. Damn. Y'all too damn grown.
Audio recordings from the dispatch team with reviewing medical terminology and actually having photos to show us how his posturing matches these things that they're explaining to us in medical terms, and then also breaking them down in lay terms for us. It goes back to something that I want the world to understand. So it is so easy for people to separate the human from the situation. But I want you guys to understand that this is my cousin. This is my first cousin. This is my mama, brother, son. And he has kids that for the rest of our lives, we have to look in their face and we have to be able to explain certain things and have certain conversations with. So with that being said, I want you guys to understand when you're on social media and you're making these posts and you're doing these things for the sake of your 15 minutes of fame, I want you guys to understand that we are really living this. And when I say we have not had the opportunity to grieve, I mean I cannot take a time to grieve because I know that my family needs me to stand in a gap and fill a role that I never in a million years thought I would be filling. And the one thing that I was told last night is that this is not something that you choose. This is something that chooses you. So being chosen for this, I will continue to stand in this role. But I need you guys to understand, we're not asking for sympathy. We're not asking for you guys to agree with everything we're saying. We're not asking for you all to understand or even accept everything we're saying. But be mindful, this is a human being. This is a real person. Tyrone was stepdaddy. Drove for y'all on social media. He was Dro that nigga. He was this social media morning motivation personality, but he was real. He was a real man with real love. And if you go back and you look at those videos and you see how every time he's around us, he's grabbing us and he's kissing us on the cheek and he's telling us he loves us, that wasn't something that he did for social media. That wasn't something that y'all get because he was doing it on a video, because video or no video, he was always him. He always loved on us. He always was there. He took his daughter on daddy-daughter dates, something most men don't even know about. He showed his daughter what it looked like for a man to truly care about you. He showed his son what it looked like for a man to be a man and stand and work and provide and do what you're supposed to do. So when y'all around here doing all this social media clout chasing for attention, understand we really living this. This is really real for my family. And despite what it may look like, despite what people may say, especially people who don't know us, those who know us know us. And anybody from Broward County who has had any interactions with my family, anybody from around the world that has had interactions with my family knows that the love is real. And despite the foolishness that's being put out on social media now, everybody want to holler receipts. Tell them put a stamp on it. Show it for real. Y'all want to holler we scammers and we got fraud cases. Criminal records are public record. Pull it. If you wanna say you got the receipts, make sure they're not expired coupons. Show the receipts and make sure they're real. But you can't take a look.
Who's she talking about? Huh? Who's she talking about? What did I miss? All I heard was Natalie going off. Who's she talking about? Somebody gonna say me. She talking about me, Emma? Oh, she talking about me? Hold up. I know she talking about me. What? Expired coupons.
A little bit of truth and sprinkle it in with a whole lot of lies and think that's okay, because it's not. Because at the end of the day, if something was to happen to me, I know, I don't hope, I don't pray, I don't wish, I know them Davises gonna step by me the way I'm stepping by Dro. So it's mandatory that I do this. This ain't optional. This not a choice. Because when I go to his kids and I sit them two down and I have that conversation with them and I'm telling them what happened to their daddy, I need to be able to tell them, listen, everything that could be done was done, and that's how we know what we know. When we sit them down and we tell them this is what the police said happened to your daddy, we need to have the evidence to support it. We're not going to them with BS. Because I know what my daddy mean to me, so I know what they daddy mean to them. And I can't give them foolishness. I can't give them half-ass, and I can't give them part of the truth. So for everybody in the social media universe who keeps saying, oh, y'all know what happened, if y'all know, hit me up. Let me know. Let me know. Because I'm still looking. I still got a whole lot of questions.
Very much.
Ooh. Miss Natalie has arrived, okay? Honey, y'all thought Natasha was something? Hello, it's me, okay? Hello. Miss Nat has arrived, baby. What? What was said? Ooh, there she go. There she go. There she go. Get these likes up. Get the likes up. Look, we need to be at 500 likes right now. Get the likes up, y'all. You know I don't got that much energy. Shit. Get the likes up.
So, and thank you very much for that. And so even stating, so we're going to go further with some of the things that actually were also dispelled by the research team. So one of the things that came up was the video related to Wawa. So they were able to determine the timeline for that video that was in Wawa at Broward County, and actually it was a black BMW that they actually stated that time, and they were going around giving out gifts. Also, they wanted to be clear because that vehicle was not Kiara's car. There was something floating around on social media stating that when they put up a picture with them at the cabins, that there were 3 bowls of grits. They actually put up, each one and then circle all of the pictures. There was only 2 bowls of grits, so there was not a third person there at the cabin. Additionally, from all the pictures that were posted and shown with the actual vehicles, they actually had a neighbor who was being super, super nosy that was actually captured as well. There absolutely was no space in Kiara's vehicle in order for a third person to be riding back behind there. So very, very clear. They also mapped the time.
If they said that when Tyrone got hit in the head or whatever happened to his head, it happened immediately. Immediately. Not no 5 minutes, not no 2 minutes. They say it happened immediately. And now they saying that 4 people was not in the car. Cause then y'all say 4 people was in the car. Then y'all had a witness say 4 people was in the car. Then it was 3 people in the car. Now ain't nobody in the car but Lulu and him. So that only points to Lulu. Is it still Lulu or no? I don't know, honey. I give it up to y'all. Okay, I give it up to y'all. Is it still Lulu or not? I don't know. I don't know. Hit that link. Hit that link, honey.
Time frame to be able to get from the cabins to the actual hotel. I noticed that someone asked why is it that they went to the hotel and did not go home. We have not gotten a clarity with that, even as it related to the hotel. Some with the calls that were made to find out if they were there. We are aware that Kiara went in first and tried to use Tyrone's card. They would not let her, and he had to go in. But even with law enforcement, they stated that she never went in. The way that we know that was because a family member made a phone call. And so one of the things that I've talked the family through is that when you check someone in, there actually is a date timestamp. So they can go back in and see who checked the person in and at what time. So that's, like I stated, as we gather things, some of the additional information we're going to go back and get to be able to reconstruct that part of the timeline as well, is to see what time did they check into the hotel, how long were they there before they decided to go get food, and those particular things. So to finish reconstructing the timeline. Additionally, things that was mapped is the hotel was 5 minutes in via car ride or 9 minutes walking to Papa John's. Additionally, there was lots of rumors related to a red car, and even too, there was like one of the spontaneous statements from the witnesses that they think got it twisted with everybody else. So that also has been debunked. There was no red car present anywhere. So to make sure that people were very, very aware. And like I stated, they really drove home and were really, really upset about first responders that were actually there and did not deem Tyrone in this situation to actually be an actual priority. And then also, it still should have been marked as a crime scene. The fact that he was found on the roadway and was bleeding and different things, and the fact that they did not secure that scene. And when the family came down days later, those things were actually there. Other things that they also named that stood out was the pizza and the wings. The manner in which his body was found in the location of the pizza and the wings, it looks like they would have been chucked out of the car just about where they were and where they actually landed. So making those things. Other things that also came up in the conversation that were extremely questionable is that when he was rushed to the hospital, Archer Road is a straight shot. So literally where he was found is on Archer Road. The hospital is all the way down. And Kiara did not know where and Chance has 3 hospitals all on the same road. So it's North Tower, South Tower, and East Tower. And she didn't know which tower he had been taken to because she did not follow him actually to the hospital. And so there is some question as it relates to what happened, like what took place there. So there's some additional things, as we stated. So by having a black box, you're able to see patterns in where she traveled. And then from there, you're able to go see where did she pass by, what did light posts pick up. And so additionally, as I completed the public records request for FDOT. As I stated, even though they stated that all of the footage is live, I'm having awareness that sometimes, especially with something like that happening, they record what are called incidents. And so with those incidents, even if we don't have live footage, some of the other cameras may have picked up and actually have incident reports for us to actually be able to do a recreation as well. And then, like I stated, with some of the requests that I've done, they're so extensive that if other calls came into 911 at the time that he was found, we'll be able to listen into those, and then also any additional communications with any other first responders, because all we saw was actually the fire truck. And then another thing that also stood out as well is that when we met with GPD, they stated that Kiara was actually there with Tyrone, but from the researchers, what you state is Tyrone was actually already on the actual stretcher and headed there. And so by Kiara's statement, and she'd gone down to the gas station, and then she came back once she saw the ambulance. But from where he was found and from the gas station, she actually would have been able to see the other people offer help and everything else long before the ambulance actually came. And so these all of the things that are questionable, they don't add up. We don't know what they actually mean, but we need those additional things. And I see that there are comments that actually state that with these things should be arrested, as I've stated in previous videos. So the statutes are very vague. So yes, you may file charges and a person can be arrested on a charge. But even when you're arrested on charges, you're not officially charged with those charges until the state proceeds to file. And so, yes, in the investigative phase, you absolutely can have a charge filed, but in the prosecutorial phase, the burden of proof is higher. And then also, whatever charge they choose, it has to meet certain elements of the facts. And so, also, because of double jeopardy, you can't get a second bite at the apple. So while it is frustrating on the front end, it is best to continue to gather all of the information like we're doing it, sitting with experts, even too, as we're going through, because many of the things that they brought up last night, I would be like, Natalie, what?
Yes, my cash app is still the same, Jug. Pink Lips 500. Let me do that right now because I don't want to miss that because, I'm here thinking about Chinese food right now. Pink. Get the likes up right now. Pink Lips 500. That's my cash app. Make it clap. Okay. Let's get these likes up.
Did I say?
Now, anybody in the backyard? Okay, Chandra.
As I stated in previous
Chandra, turn
Yes,
your
I'm here.
radio down. How you doing,
Okay.
baby?
Okay, I'm doing it now.
Yeah, turn that down. Talk to me. Talk to me. Talk to me. Oh, talk to me. Talk to me. Do y'all know that song? Press two if you know that song. Talk to me, sweet Jesus. Chandra. Lord help Chandra. Chandra just dropped the hell off. What the fuck? What the fuck, Chandra? Shit.
And that's like, this was the same thing that I was thinking, because you can make some of the similar inferences with the information that's presented. So to be validated by the people whose work this actually is lets us know that we are actually doing the right thing, and definitely getting closer to getting the answers that everybody's actually seeking. And so building something that is solid enough to even go back to GPD and show them these are all the missteps. These are all the things to finish to go gather. And there isn't actual enough. One of the questions that the research team actually asked me, what are next steps? Well, it depends on what we also uncover now, because in addition to the autopsy report, we're going to also get the medical records from UF. And so that, compounded with the medical records that we have coming from Alachua County Fire Rescue, is also going to give us some additional information and insight. The good thing about the medical records from UF as well, they will document who was, denoted as next of kin. They document what conversations that they had with people. So any of the things that may come up in those particular conversations as well, in that documentation system, we'll be able to utilize as well to help fill in additional pieces of the actual puzzle. And so I wanted to be able to share with people to give them like a level of clarity, and to actually also show people navigating this process, so that if you're trying to navigate through a process, so you have insight on how to do it, what is the appropriate way to navigate through it to be able to get it, whatever it is that you're trying to accomplish, accomplished. Also being very clear to help people to understand there will be noise. If you got noise, if you got people that got this and that to say, it means you're doing the right thing. The only time people take the time to troll or have this to say or in their feelings is when you're doing something right. And so helping to center that for people. And so for me, it's I'm very, very antagonistic. So it really upsets people that I'm that particular way. Like we sit on these videos for sometimes an hour and a half. If you got an hour, because the time is the most precious thing that you have, to give up to listen to somebody that you don't like, that speaks to issue with you, not to the person that you don't like. And so like being very clearly for me, and I've been very clear about who I am, I'm always going to be petty enough and childish enough and all of those things that people think that they can weaponize to respond, because you won't control a narrative over here. And at the same time, because I can multitask, we're going to always highlight what is taking place, what actual work actually looks like, what advocacy looks like, because it takes systems change. If we change the system, we won't have to do so much advocacy. And that's literally what this is about. And when we don't have to do so much advocacy, we don't have to have families like the Davis family searching for answers. The system should have worked in the appropriate manner for them to already have had answers. And that's the challenge. It should never be an uphill battle to have law enforcement or our justice system to bring justice when literally that's what.
Chandra, you here? Chandra. Chandra. I hate when y'all have me do this. See, I think y'all doing this to me on purpose. Hey, Roland. Y'all, Roland, Mila, she a whole celebrity out here. Thank you, girl. Help me get like you, honey. Shit. Okay. Yeah, shout out to her. All right. Um, see, Chandra's playing games with me. I don't know who she think I am. She get up here, I say hello, then she run off. I'm not playing no games with y'all. Y'all want to have a voice? Y'all want to come up? Come up. Hit that link. All right? If you saying you don't believe her, then come up here and say you don't believe her. Okay? Why you don't believe her? Let's give commentary. Let's have a great debate. Let's get it on. Shit. Come on. Y'all scared? Y'all scared to hit that goddamn link? Come on, Lady G. You got a whole YouTube channel. I know you got some noise. You got something to say. Come on, LG. Where else y'all at? Where the content creators at? Where the content creators?
Gigi,
Chandra, yeah, I can hear
I'm
you.
here.
You
Can
keep
you hear
playing
me?
with me. Yeah, you keep
No,
playing
I'm
with
not
me,
playing.
honey.
I had to turn the TV down. I'm
Roya D,
sorry.
come on up here, girl. Say what you gotta say,
Hi,
Roy.
how you doing, Gigi? I
I'm
say I had
I'm
to
not
turn my
doing
TV
good at
down.
all. I'm not doing good at all. They just said
I'm
that
sorry.
Lulu in so many words and took the pow and hit him in the multiple head and threw his ass out of the car. Or no, he didn't get thrown out the car because remember they said that he got out the car, right? Press
Yeah,
4 if they said that Tyrone got out the car, but
they
they
say he
feel
got out the
that
car and stumbled.
Lulu
Yeah,
was hitting him in the back of the head, and then he got out the car and he kneeled and stumbled and fell down. And Pete, they feel like it's based on Lulu. They're saying ain't no car hit his ass, So this is something new. This is breaking news. This is another shift. We thought we heard it all, but honey, when I tell you Nat came, and let me tell you, Nat was not playing with nobody today. I think she was talking about Polo, but bitches said she was talking about me. Okay, Nat. Nat, if you talk about me, let's talk this out. Okay, hit me or I hit you. Should I reach out to Natalie? Press 7 if I should reach out to Natalie. And I said, Natalie, will we got to discuss something? Or you want to come on a platform? We want to talk it out in public? Or what's up? You know what I mean? All right. Oh, oh my God. All right. They said call Polo. Do you think I got that man on the speed dial? I don't have Polo on the speed dial, you know? Okay. Chandra, go ahead.
to
Chandra,
tell
keep on
you.
going down.
Yes, I was
Chandra,
trying
go
to
ahead.
tell you that when you I'm using
Ooh, Chandra, your thing is messing up.
Can
Chandra.
you hear me?
I can't hear her, but yeah, what's going on? Hey, is this LG?
This is LG. What's up, Gigi?
Hey, baby, can you turn the volume up, honey?
Oh, I can't. Hold on.
Yeah, it sounds like I hear a lot of stuff in the background. I hear a lot of room noise. That's what they call it.
Hear me? Can you hear me?
Yeah. So tell us, do you believe the report that just came out with Natalie that he was hit multiple times in the head and he got out the car and he fell and died?
Well, I don't believe he would be able to get hit multiple times in the head inside a car. Mm-mm, no. However, I do believe he was hit several times in his head because if he, reason, let me tell you why. I believe it happened at that cabin. Something happened, took place at that cabin.
Okay, but LG, they just said when she hit him in the head or when he got hit in the head, it happened immediately. They said, and that's what the medical people say. So it's not going to be no a day later or 5 hours later. Natalie made that crystal clear. But you don't believe that. You do believe that it took time. But Natalie did
It took
make it clear that when the hit, and that was from the medical, it was instantly. So you don't believe what the medical people said about that? You feel like they're lying?
I feel like they're not saying the truth about the medical because I'm not. Listen, multiple times in the head, right? That means they took time to do it. If you hit somebody multiple times, you hitting them for a minute, right?
Not
So he would have been.
necessarily. If it was real fast and you got on my nerves, go and that's it. It don't take long. And when somebody hit you in the head like that multiple times, it's really fast. I got hit when I was attacked, and it was like this. So it was really fast. I didn't even know what was coming.
Boom, 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 right? Now you said that she said that it was almost instantly that he was gone, right?
The medical examiner said that from the force of whatever hit him, that his injury would have resulted into an instant unaliving. So she said
So he was
from the
able to
the
still start
time
on the car.
that it hit him, it would have been instantly, not 10 hours, not 5 hours, not 2 hours. That is what Natalie said.
So who said he was down there for hours?
Huh?
So is Natalie do they think that he was laying there for a minute? For a while?
No, they said that he got out the car, he kneeled and fell.
So basically he was hit inside the car a couple of times. If she driving, just picture if you driving, right? How much hit you and drive and look at the road
It can happen.
multiple times?
It can happen.
I don't think it happened inside no car. Not unless it was other people in the car that did it while she's
It
driving.
no, they crossed that out. The lady said the back seat was full and was no room for another person to be in the car. She crossed her T's and dotted her I's. So they
Now
painted the
she's in a
scenario for you.
she's in a
So you
SUV
don't
that
believe
holds.
them.
I don't believe that. No.
Okay. All right.
What you believe?
So
What
LG
you
says
believe?
she doesn't believe it. You know what? I'm just listening and I'm just taking it. If you tell me to go left, I'm gonna go left. If you tell me to go right, I'm gonna go right. And I'm gonna let y'all decide. I wanna stay in the middle. I may give my opinion once in a while, but shit, it may change based on what next comes out. So
Think he
usually
would have.
I run with it, especially when Natasha got some voodoo over me, honey. When she say run, girl, I'm running. Okay. Oh,
I'm
so
just
I
I'm
gotta
just trying
slow my roll.
JJ. I'm trying to make sense of this because that ain't even making sense. multiple times, quickly get hit. Boom, 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 boom. I'm driving. Boom, 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 boom. And he opened the door. And but however, he really ain't had no chance to sit there. If it was gonna happen so instantly like that, why was he still breathing when the paramedics don't came? When the first responders don't came, they wasn't even gonna take him to the hospital. They didn't even see injuries on his head at that point until they put him in that truck.
Just because you don't see the injuries doesn't mean that it's not nothing going in your head. They said he had inside bleeding and it was swelling.
Right.
Yeah.
Now I
And he
agree with
said
that. I
he
believe,
even peed on himself because he lost his
of course.
bodily functions. So they
Of course. And
believe it was from the
he
damage
probably
of the multiple hits. And I do believe they do believe that's inside the vehicle. They didn't say
mm-mm,
it, but it's no way that it's going to be instant. It was instant inside the vehicle versus at somewhere else. They say they saw the
mm-mm.
footage of Papa John's. Well, Lady G, she says she's not buying Natalie and Miss Jackson. You're calling bullshit. You don't believe it.
Yeah, that's bullshit. It's just hard to believe that it happened inside a car and Lulu did that on her own, but she's driving. I'm not believing that.
All right.
Nope, nope, mm-mm, not
All
at
right,
all.
thank you, LG. Okay, so Chandra, your turn. What are your thoughts about it? Do you get it right? You getting it working? You guys come up here and tell me your thoughts about it. Chandra, honey, I don't know what's going on with Chandra, but it still ain't working for her. And I'm sure Polo is going to come and speak about it. He's always going to speak about it. So we'll get his video when it comes out and we'll react to it. Press 9 if you think Polo is going to come out and speak about it. I don't know for sure, but I think he will. Because I know a lot of you guys going to look at it. You guys going to say, Polo, we want to know your thoughts about it. Come on, Polo. Tell us. Tell us. All right. So we'll wait till he come out and you guys will let me know when he's on and I'll react to it. Uh-huh. Uh. So hit that link if you guys want to say something. All right. Do you got anything else to say? I'll play a little bit
What our
more.
taxpayers' dollars are actually for. So, Natalie, if there was any closing or additional sentiments that you wanted to give and share, I wanted to open that up to you. I was going to see if there were any other questions before we actually close.
I have been watching the comments, and I will continue to watch the comments. I did see one question. Was there anyone else at the hospital prior to the family's arrival? I cannot say for sure. We are hoping that if so, it will be documented in the records. But as of right now, we don't have anything to support that there was. Um, Also, I know that if you guys are on social media and you're following our family, you've seen today that we've made several posts just advising everyone that we are not supporting violence and we are not making threats online, because there have been allegations made recently, and there are statements being made as to that threats are coming from the Davis family. I want to clear that up. That is not from our family. So if you are receiving those type of threats or those type of statements, understand that it's not my family doing those things, that we do not support those things, and that ultimately we're not violent individuals. We literally just want answers.
Well, Natalie, I'm thanking you clear that shit up because the underdog, he telling me to pull up to his house and see what he gonna do to me. Yeah, he's talking about send that address. Send it to he want me to come to his house so he can knock me off my sandals. Okay? Yeah, he's like, shut the F up. He stay in my DMs and my messages. I don't know. He got a wife and kids. He said that Tyrone is his relative. Do y'all want me to put the receipts out? Because he hit me up every fucking day. Every freaking day and every freaking night. And he said he just after me. He said he don't care about nobody else talking. He just want me, okay, to shut it up. He said he got a target on me. Okay. So if y'all want me to show y'all that receipts of the underdog, press 7. And I'll come up and talk about that tomorrow, honey, okay? I wanted to just focus on this because this just came out today, and I didn't want to make it about me. It's all about me, me, me. I didn't want to do that. Okay. But I'll show y'all the threats that I'm continuing to receive tomorrow. All right. They say he want to be with you, but I don't want to be with him. You know, it's harassment at this point. I gotta want to be with you in order to make it work. I don't want him. All right. He need to put all that attention toward his wife and kids. Oh, oh my God. Yep, yep, yep. So let me see here. All right. Well, I'm going to get on out of here. I enjoyed you guys. Make sure you guys like, share, and subscribe. And I'll see you guys on the next upload. Bye.